Have you ever laid there in bed, wide awake at 2:17 a.m., feeling like the only person in the world who can't fall back asleep? You know what time it is without even looking at the clock, because it's always around the same time. Your body stirs, your mind races, your bladder signals, you sigh, you roll over, and another night just slips away from you. You didn't used to be like this. You used to fall asleep with ease. You'd close your eyes and open them again with the sunrise. But now everything's changed, and you don't really know when it started. Was it after turning 60? Was it after your spouse passed? Was it when your doctor said, "That's just what happens when you get older"? But let's pause here, because I want to ask you something nobody really asks you. What if it doesn't have to be this way? What if the problem isn't your age, but how your body's needs have shifted, and no one told you how to keep up? See, this is something I've come to understand after hearing hundreds of stories from people just like you. Tired, frustrated, doing everything right, but still walking through the day in a fog because sleep just doesn't feel like sleep anymore. And here's a hard truth that doesn't get said enough. Sleep problems in older adults are not always just aging. They're messages from your nervous system, your digestion, your bladder, your stress hormones, telling you something isn't balanced. And sometimes the answer isn't more pills. It's not even about stricter routines or fewer bathroom trips. Sometimes the answer is as simple as what's missing from your evening plate. A handful of the right food. One overlooked nut that researchers are quietly talking about because it's helping older adults sleep through the night again. For real. Not a deep sleep for an hour or two. We're talking 8 to 9 hours of uninterrupted rest. The kind of sleep where you wake up and your bones don't ache, your thoughts aren't cloudy, and you can finally say, "I feel human again." In this video, I'm going to walk you through how this one simple nut works, and how just adding it to your evening routine, the right way, for just 2 nights can start restoring the peace you've been missing. But that's not all. I'm also going to explain the 5 hidden reasons why you, or someone you love, is waking up every single night. Even after a warm bath, even after cutting caffeine, even after doing everything right. These are things most people never talk about because they seem too small to matter. But I promise you, they do. And when you understand these reasons, and you give your body what it quietly needs, your sleep will return. Gently, naturally. No scary side effects, no drowsy mornings, no more staring at the ceiling in the dark. But listen, before we go any further, I want to ask something very important of you. If this is your first time here, and you've ever lost a night of sleep worrying about your body, or your spouse's health, or how aging is quietly changing the way your life feels, don't walk away from this video without subscribing. I'm serious. Not because it's trendy, not because of some algorithm, but because Elderly Spring exists for you, to give you the truth, to give you peace, to give you back control in a world where it feels like everything's slipping through your fingers. And if, for whatever reason, you're not going to subscribe, then please go to the comments section and tell us why. Lament, confess, vent. Because if this video speaks to you and you still walk away, you'll carry another sleepless night on your back when the answers were right here in front of you. We don't do hype, we do healing. And it starts with the little things, like knowing what time you wake up at night. So go ahead and comment now. Is it 1 a.m.? 3:30? Do you wake up every hour on the hour? Let's see how many of us are quietly fighting the same battle. You're not alone, you're not broken. And sleep is not a luxury, it's your right. Let me show you how to get it back. Starting with something so simple, you'll wonder why no one ever told you before. So now, let's take a closer look. Because if you're waking up constantly at night, or someone you love is, there's a good chance it's not just one thing. It's a combination of small imbalances quietly building up. Let's walk through the first hidden culprit. 1. Magnesium drain night cramps. Let me tell you about James. He's 67, still active, still walks every morning with his dog, Max. But lately, James had a strange new problem. He couldn't sleep more than 2 hours at a time. Not because of thoughts, not even his bladder, but because his legs would seize up like twisted ropes under the blanket. Sharp, stabbing cramps that made him sit up in a panic. He tried massaging. He tried drinking more water. He even blamed his shoes. But here's what no one told James. As we age, our body's ability to absorb magnesium drops significantly. Magnesium isn't just another mineral. It's the calm conductor of your muscles and nerves. It tells your body, relax, let go, be still. When you don't have enough, your legs jerk, your muscles twitch, you feel restless, even in your bones. And most people, they go straight to pain pills or leg rubs, but they're just chasing the symptom, not the cause. What James needed was a natural magnesium booster. Enter almonds. Just a small handful, about 10, in the evening can gently replenish your magnesium stores, calm your muscles, and prevent those 2 a.m. cramps that steal your sleep. Not medicine, not magic, just nature doing its quiet work. And that's just the first reason. Let's move to the second, one that almost everyone overlooks. 2. Melatonin meltdown. Evelyn is 73. She lost her husband 2 years ago. Since then, she says, I can fall asleep, but I just can't stay asleep. Sound familiar? Evelyn would go to bed at 9:30. She'd feel okay for a couple of hours, but like clockwork, she'd wake up at 1 a.m., wide-eyed, heart pounding, sleep gone. So she tried over-the-counter melatonin, and at first it helped. But then, it made her feel groggy, and the effect wore off. Worse, she started getting vivid dreams that made her anxious. Why? Because after age 60, your body produces far less melatonin on its own. And synthetic melatonin doesn't always play well with aging systems. What Evelyn really needed was a food-based natural boost, something gentle, something that works with the body, not against it. That's where pistachios and walnuts come in. These nuts contain tryptophan, a natural amino acid that helps your brain create its own melatonin. No side effects, no strange dreams. Just a gentle nudge toward the deep, peaceful sleep you remember. And the nut we'll reveal soon? It's even better, because it gives your brain everything it needs to start producing restful hormones again, starting in just 2 nights. So if you wake up in the middle of the night without reason, this might be your body whispering for melatonin. Now let's talk about a sneakier cause. 3. Blood sugar swings. Robert is 71, and every night after dinner, he craves something sweet. A cookie, a soda, just something small. But at 2 a.m., he'd wake up in a cold sweat, heart racing, shirt damp, chest tight. He thought it was anxiety, but it wasn't. It was his blood sugar, dropping, suddenly, waking him up like an emergency alarm going off inside his body. Here's what happens. When you eat dinner early or skip it altogether, your blood sugar may crash in the middle of the night. Your body responds by dumping adrenaline to wake you up, fast. It's not fear, it's not a bad dream. It's your blood sugar failing to hold steady. And here's the mistake most people make. They think skipping meals helps digestion or weight. But for older adults, this creates bigger risks, especially for sleep. So what can you do? Eat a small, balanced bedtime snack. A few Brazil nuts or cashews, rich in healthy fats and protein, can slow digestion just enough to keep blood sugar steady until morning. No spikes, no crashes, just calm, continuous fuel for the body to stay at rest. It's simple, but powerful. And now we move to a very common issue, one nobody wants to talk about. 4. Overactive bladder. Weak pelvic nerves. Martha, 68, was waking up 6 to 7 times a night, just to use the bathroom. She was convinced her kidneys were failing. But after a checkup, her doctor said, "They're fine." So what was going on? The problem wasn't her kidneys, it was her bladder nerves. As we age, the nerves controlling our bladder become hypersensitive. The bladder feels full even when it's not. Add in a little inflammation from diet or stress, and You wake up constantly. And here's the sad part. Martha tried drinking less water, but this backfired. Her urine became more concentrated, irritating the bladder even more. The real solution: foods that calm the bladder nerves. Macadamia nuts and pumpkin seeds contain anti-inflammatory oils and magnesium that help relax the bladder and reduce nerve misfires. When Martha started eating just a few macadamias 2 hours before bed, her bathroom trips dropped from 6 to just 1. Sometimes the answer isn't in the medicine cabinet, it's in your pantry. And now we arrive at the fifth, and most emotionally draining, reason you might be awake all night. 5. Cortisol stress hormones. Carla is 69, and even though her life looks peaceful from the outside, she spends her nights battling a war inside her head. She worries about her adult children. She relives old arguments. She thinks about bills, health scares, the future. She goes to bed at 10 and wakes up at 1 and again at 3 and again at 5. Why? Because her body is stuck in fight or flight mode. You see, cortisol, the stress hormone, is supposed to drop at night. That's what allows the body to truly rest. But when it stays high, due to stress, inflammation, or unresolved emotion, it prevents you from reaching deep sleep. Even worse, most people try to soothe this with a glass of wine or sleep aids, but these raise cortisol even more over time. What Carla needed was a cortisol regulator, something natural, something food-based. That's where the number one nut we'll reveal shortly comes in. It contains compounds that naturally lower cortisol, without drowsiness, without side effects, just calm, quiet restoration of balance. And it started working for Carla in just 2 nights. Not because it was magic, but because it gave her body what it had been missing for years. Let that sink in. For each of these 5 reasons, your body isn't failing you. It's trying to signal you. And when you listen, when you give it the right support, your sleep can return, gently, fully, finally. In the next part of this video, we're going to reveal the exact nut you should be eating, why it works so fast, and how to use it for maximum benefit. You're just a few minutes away from understanding what may be the simplest change that transforms your nights. Shall we keep going? It's hard, isn't it? When your body won't rest, when you do everything right, and it still betrays you in the middle of the night. You feel tired before you even open your eyes. The morning sun feels like an intruder, not a beginning. And by 2 p.m. your energy is gone. Again, you're not lazy, you're not weak, you're just exhausted, and quietly trying to hold it all together. And what makes it worse? Everyone else says it's normal, that this is just part of aging, that it'll pass, or that you should learn to live with it. But deep down, something inside you knows better, because you weren't always like this. You used to rest, you used to rise, you used to feel like yourself. So let's take a moment, not to feel defeated, but to reframe this for what it really is. Your body isn't giving up, it's asking for help, softly, quietly, every night. And the moment you shift your view, from frustration to compassion, everything changes. You're not broken. You're not behind. You're just entering a season of life that requires a new kind of care, a softer kind, a wiser kind. And the good news? You can start tonight, not tomorrow, not next week, tonight. Because what you're about to discover isn't complicated. It isn't expensive. It doesn't require prescriptions or side effects or scary routines. It's one small, calming ritual. And now, it's your turn. So let me show you how. The nut that could change your sleep in 2 nights. So, what is this nut? What's the one food that, when eaten correctly, has helped older adults sleep deeply again in just 2 nights? It's the pistachio. Yes, the humble, often overlooked, beautifully green pistachio. You might have snacked on it before without knowing that it contains one of the highest levels of natural melatonin in any plant-based food. But that's just the beginning. Pistachios are a powerhouse of sleep-supporting nutrients, especially for adults over 60. Let me break it down for you. Melatonin precursor. Tryptophan. Tryptophan is the amino acid your brain needs to make melatonin, the hormone that tells your body it's time to sleep. Unlike synthetic melatonin, which can overwhelm or disrupt your cycle, pistachios gently help your body make its own, at its own pace, in its own rhythm. Magnesium, potassium. Remember James with the night cramps? Pistachios are packed with both minerals, calming your muscles, relaxing your nerves, and signaling your brain that it's time to unwind. No jerking legs, no tension, just softness in your limbs. Healthy fats. This is where it gets even more powerful. Pistachios contain slow-digesting, good fats that stabilize your blood sugar all night long. So if you're like Robert, waking up in a sweat at 2 a.m., these fats are your natural protection against blood sugar crashes. You stay balanced. You stay asleep. Anti-inflammatory compounds. Inflammation is one of the root causes of everything, from poor bladder control to nerve sensitivity to brain fog. Pistachios fight inflammation gently, calming the bladder, quieting overactive nerves, and easing pressure from your entire system, which means fewer bathroom trips, fewer wake-ups, more rest. Amino acids for REM sleep. Want to dream again? Want to wake up feeling restored instead of foggy? Pistachios contain amino acids that support REM sleep, the deepest, most rejuvenating part of your cycle. So your body isn't just sleeping, it's healing. But listen carefully, because how you eat pistachios matters. This isn't about grabbing a handful before bed and hoping for the best. It's about creating a gentle, intentional ritual that your body will learn to rely on. How to eat pistachios for deep sleep. Timing. Eat them about 1 to 2 hours before bed, so your body has time to absorb the nutrients and respond. Portion, just 7 to 10 pistachios, that's all. More than that may cause stomach upset. Less than that might not be enough. Pair with a small half banana, rich in potassium and calming sugars, or a cup of warm chamomile tea with a teaspoon of honey. These ingredients work with the pistachios to lower cortisol, relax your muscles, and prepare your mind for stillness. Bonus, try this tonight, the Elderly Spring Sleep Blend. 10 pistachios, 1-2 ripe banana. Light sprinkle of cinnamon, 1 TSP of raw honey in warm chamomile tea. This combination supports your nervous system, your blood sugar, your hormones, and your bladder, all in one comforting bedtime moment. It's not just food, it's support, it's restoration, it's your body finally saying, "Thank you for listening." And if you're wondering whether this actually works, don't take my word for it. Try it, just for 2 nights. If it helps, and I believe it will, you'll never go back to chasing sleep with pills again. Because sometimes, healing doesn't need noise, just nature, and a little care at the right time. Now, adding pistachios or your sleep-supporting nut is a powerful first step. But let's go even deeper, because your body is like a beautiful, aging instrument. It doesn't just need the right fuel, it needs the right conditions to perform at its best. So, let me walk you through 6 simple lifestyle shifts, each one small enough to try tonight, each one backed by science, but guided by common sense. And together, they create an environment where rest isn't forced, it's invited. 1. Lighting blue light tips. Your body doesn't just respond to food, it responds to light. From the moment you open your eyes, light tells your brain what time it is. And as the sun goes down, your brain expects darkness. It's how melatonin, your sleep hormone, knows when to rise. But most of us? We flood our homes with artificial lights. We stare at bright screens. We watch TV with the volume loud and the room glowing like daylight. Here's what I want you to try. After 7 p.m., dim your lights. Use lamps instead of overhead bulbs. If possible, switch to warm-toned bulbs or candles. And at least 1 hour before bed, put away the phone, the tablet, the TV remote. I know, it's hard. But the blue light from screens stops your brain from making melatonin. Try it for just 1 night. Let the darkness return to your evening, and feel your brain shift from stimulation to stillness. 2. Gentle movement. Now what if your body still feels tense in the evenings? Maybe your joints ache. Maybe you feel stiff or restless. You don't need a gym. You don't need a routine. You need gentle, intentional movement. A short walk around the house, slow, seated stretches with deep breaths. Or even better, try a 10-minute sleep yoga routine just before bed. You can do it from a chair. It focuses on the neck, shoulders, hips, and back, all the places where stress hides. These gentle movements tell your muscles, the day is done, let go. It's like tucking your body in, not just your blanket. And when the body feels safe, the mind can finally relax. 3. Breathing nervous system. Reset. Sometimes it's not the body that's keeping you awake. It's your thoughts, worries, memories, to-do lists, regrets, all swirling like a storm at bedtime. But here's a powerful tool you carry with you, all the time: your breath. Try this before bed. Box breathing. Breathe in for 4 seconds. Hold for 4. Breathe out for 4. Hold again for 4. Repeat this pattern 4 to 5 times. What does this do? It slows your heart rate. It lowers cortisol. It shifts your body from fight or flight to rest and digest. It's like pressing a reset button and inviting your nervous system to surrender. You don't need meditation apps. You don't need silence. Just you and your breath. 4. Journaling mind dump. Now, let's talk about something surprisingly powerful. A pen and a few lines on paper. If your mind races at night, it's often because it's holding too much. Unfinished conversations, financial worries, things you meant to do, things you wish you hadn't done. Your brain can't rest until it lets go. So try this. Before bed, open a notebook and write just 3 lines. Line 1, something that worried you today. Line 2, something you're grateful for. Line 3, something you'll release until tomorrow. This isn't poetry. It's not homework. It's mental housekeeping. When you put it on paper, you give your brain permission to rest. No more midnight spirals. Just gentle closure for the day. 5. Warm bath or foot soak. Here's something ancient and still magical: warm water. A 15-minute bath or foot soak before bed can transform your sleep. Why? Because when your body warms up, then cools down as you exit the water, it signals the brain that it's time to sleep. It mimics what happens naturally at dusk, when body temperature drops and melatonin begins to rise. Want to take it further? Add Epsom salts, rich in magnesium. Add a drop of lavender oil to calm the senses. Close your eyes, soak your feet, and let the tension of the day melt away. It's not indulgence, it's preparation for healing rest. 6. Morning light exposure. And finally, here's a tip that surprises people. If you want better sleep at night, you need to start with your morning. Your brain has a master clock, and it resets every day based on light. So the moment you wake up, open your curtains, step outside, or just sit by a sunny window for 15 minutes. Morning light tells your brain, this is day, and in 12-14 hours your brain will remember, now it's night. You'll fall asleep faster, stay asleep longer, and wake up feeling more restored than you have in years. It's the rhythm your body has been waiting for. So now let's pause, take a breath. You've just learned 6 simple, natural ways to prepare your body for deep, nourishing sleep. You've uncovered 5 hidden reasons you've been waking up at night, and you've discovered one humble, powerful nut, the pistachio, that might change everything in just 2 nights. So let me ask you, what's one small change you'll try tonight, just for you? A new bedtime snack? Stretching your legs before bed? Turning off the TV an hour early? Writing out your thoughts? Whatever it is, do it with care, do it with intention, because it's a gift to your body, a gentle way of saying, I still matter, and you do. You deserve to feel rested. You deserve to feel clear. You deserve to close your eyes at night and trust that your body will carry you through to morning. And just remember, it doesn't take pills. It doesn't take punishment. It takes consistency, kindness, and a little bit of patience. And yes, just a handful of the right nut. You're not alone in this. There's a whole community here, Elderly Spring, walking this path with you. You're stronger than you know, and your rest is not gone. It's just waiting for you to return. Let's take a moment and look at how far you've come in just one video. Tonight, you're no longer in the dark about your sleep struggles. You're no longer guessing, no longer blaming yourself, no longer carrying the weight of exhaustion alone. You now understand the 5 quiet reasons your body keeps waking up at night. The magnesium drain that causes cramps and muscle tension, the melatonin decline that prevents deep sleep, the blood sugar dips that jolt you awake, the overactive bladder that sends false alarms, and the cortisol spikes that trick your brain into staying alert. You've also learned the power of a small, mighty food, the pistachio, a natural remedy wrapped in a shell, a friend to your nerves, hormones, muscles, and mind, and you've gained 6 simple lifestyle shifts that work in harmony with that nut. Dimming the lights, moving your body with grace, breathing with intention, emptying your thoughts with a pen, soaking in warm water, and stepping into sunlight each morning. These are no longer just tips. They're tools, they're gentle invitations, they're acts of love for your older, wiser, still beautiful body. And now, it's your turn to respond. So tell me, right now in the comments, what time do you usually wake up during the night? Midnight? 1:30? 3:45 on the dot? Let's talk about it below. Let's see how many of us are quietly sharing the same nightly battle. And while you're here, if this video brought you any sense of peace, comfort, or clarity, then don't just watch and walk away. Subscribe to Elderly Spring, not because I said so, not because it's expected, but because you deserve to keep learning, growing, and healing, one gentle step at a time. And if for some reason you still don't want to subscribe, at least do this. Go to the comments and write why. Because if you're still waking up every night in confusion, but walked away from answers this simple and this natural, then we need to talk about what's really holding you back. But if you're ready to rest again, if you're ready to take your nights back, if you're ready to say yes to a quieter, stronger, more rested you, then subscribe. Because Elderly Spring is here for you. Every week, every video, every step of the journey. No fluff, no pressure, just truth, care, and community. And now, I'll leave you with this. Tonight, when you lie down, when the house gets quiet, when the clock ticks softly in the dark, let it be different. Let your muscles relax. Let your thoughts ease. Let that handful of pistachios and all that you've learned today carry you toward peace. Because the body remembers when you love it, and tonight, you did. So sleep well, wake gently, and may tomorrow bring a little more light than today did. Thank you for watching, thank you for staying, and I'll see you in the next one.